You're on a retro trek with the Caramel Apples, a podcast that brings you a retro pop culture vibe, both crunchy and sweet. This week, we're going to deep dive into a most memorable, lovable throwback cartoon that will absolutely cause us to gush with nostalgic excitement. Remember the Care Bears? Sharing is caring. With your host, Kennedy Rizzo and Cooper Lee.
I am really a softie for things so cute and cuddly when it came to sweet animal portrayals from back when we were coming up.
I know.
I'm all set to enjoy our engaging retro throwback discussion on the Care Bears this week.
So cute.
I know. They starred in the cutest little cartoon series, which is no secret that I loved.
True that, Cooper. The Care Bears were absolutely adorable and so retro 80s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it perfectly fit and went along well during this time period. You know, as shy, more reserved kids back then, when dealing with hanging out with friends, going to school, and thinking about the very real realm of what school life was back then, those times proved to play out very differently from the rest of your peers. So it would be easy for some, for others not so much. So it was nice that there were things and entertainment crafted to help soothe young, confused psyches when going through rough patches.
Mm-hmm.
The Care Bears was such a wonderful escape from the pressures and ills of what various degrees of life would get thrown at you.
That's an interesting perspective on what this warm, nostalgic throwback cartoon hopefully brought to so many youths back then.
Mm-hmm.
I know we enjoy just about everything connected to the Care Bears, and it'll be such a treat to recall some of the things buried deep within our memory stores on this. So let's get started, shall we?
Sounds good, sis. This is going to be outrageously fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, who were the Care Bears exactly? Well, the Care Bears are multicolored bears, originally painted in 1981 by artist Elena Kucharik, to be used on greeting cards from American Greetings. So in 1983, the characters were turned into plush teddy bears and later headlined their own television series called Care Bears from 1985 to 1988.
Yeah, and they also made 3 feature films. The Care Bears movie from 1985, Care Bears Movie 2, A New Generation, 1986, and the Care Bears Adventure in Wonderland, 1987. Wow. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, they were serious, weren't they?
They were, and they were striking while the iron was hot.
That's the way to do it.
That is the way to do it. Wow. And I believe we saw the first movie of the Care Bears series, the trilogy. And here's my inner child coming out.
Uh-oh.
But I absolutely adore the Care Bears.
Oh, I totally agree, Coop. These fluffy darlings dialed up easy smiles instantly.
Oh, yeah.
As we stated just a moment ago, the Care Bears were initially created in 1981 by Elena Kucharik for the greeting card company American Greetings. So Jack Chodnacki, the co-president of TCFC, introduced the first Care Bear to businessmen from American Greeting Cards and from the toy company Kenner in February of 1981. On the employees' reaction to the toy, Chodnacki recalled in early 1985, it had that aw factor.
Aww. I would have been sounding like that.
Yes, you were among that throng.
Right. True that, Kidder. They were so cute.
They really were. Get the fat cheek.
Mm-hmm. Ingenious, though. So each Care Bear is a different color or shade and has a unique picture on their tummies that represent its personality.
Okay.
Fun fact, did you know that there were 10 original Care Bears? The adorable lineup were as follows: Bedtime Bear, Birthday Bear, which was later replaced by Share Bear in 2002.
Okay.
Cheer Bear, Friend Bear, Funshine Bear, Good Luck Bear, Grumpy Bear, Love a Lot Bear, Tenderheart Bear, and last but not least, we have Wish Bear.
Boy, you need a drink of water on that one. That was a long list, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well worth it.
We couldn't miss any of them.
That's right.
So, the franchise consists mainly of the Care Bears themselves. So, the Care Bears and yet another special group we're about to introduce, both these groups live in the Kingdom of Caring, which is made up of Care-a-Lot, the home of the Care Bears proper, and the Forest of Feelings, and home of the Care Bears cousins.
Okay.
So later on, as this concept developed, additional bears joined them. The original 10, as well as the cousins. Who might be the cousins? Who might the cousins be?
To answer your question, Coop, adding to the Care Bear family are the Care Bear cousins, which feature, now I need my drink of water, Braveheart Lion, Cozy Heart Penguin, Bright Heart Raccoon, Lots of Heart Elephant, Gentle Heart Lamb, Loyal Heart Dog, Playful Heart Monkey, Proud Heart Cat, Swift Heart Rabbit, Treat Heart Pig, and Noble Heart Horse, created in the same style as the original Care Bears. The Care Bears' ultimate weapon is the Care Bear Stare, in which the collective bears stand together and radiate light from their respective tummy symbols. It is described as these combine to form a ray of love and good cheer, which can bring care and joy into the target's heart, break dark spells, or revive something that had been broken, wilted, or messed up. The Care Bear Stare has several different looks.
Yes, and one has a beam coming from the tummy being made up of several replicated images of the symbol.
Mm-hmm.
Another variation formed a rainbow when multiple Care Bears and or Care Bear cousins are involved. A yellow beam with red hearts is sometimes seen too. They're just so cute.
They are. You want to squeeze them.
Yeah. So, fun fact, in the original animated special and the Deke TV series, the Care Bear Stare is initiated by the phrase, "Care Bears, prepare to stare."
It's cute.
While in the Nelvana series and later versions, it is initiated by the phrase, "Care Bears Countdown." So the Care Bears cousins have their own variant of the stare, and it is called the Care Cousin Call. In the Deke series, the call looks identical to the stare in appearance.
Boy, does that ever take you back to how cartoons were so nostalgic on Saturday mornings and or early afternoons right after school.
It really does.
Yeah, it really does transport you back like right now.
It does. I love it.
And we are so privileged being Gen Xers. You know, we really had so many retro gems in which to garner warm nostalgia from. But real quick, Coop, in addition to the Care Bear Stare, the Care Bears also can use their tummy symbols to summon other assistants, such as heart-shaped balloons, cloud cars, rainbow bridges, and sending out a distress signal. So there's another segment of the Care family we need to introduce.
Please do.
Accompanying them are the Star and Heart Buddies, who look out for the bears and cousins whenever they are on missions of caring. And the birds are usually seen in the Forest of Feelings with the Care Bear cousins and those who watch over them. A lesser reoccurring character is the Cloud Keeper, the portly gentleman who maintains Care-a-Lot.
So on that note, fun fact, in 1989, Carol Ashkenazi of the Atlanta Journal-Constitution referred to them as, and I quote, "the whimsical late 20th century descendants of what we used to know as guardians, furry, friendly, adorable creatures whose mission is to guide small children and protect them from boogeymen." End quote. So it's the baked-in ideological understanding of what warm, fuzzy feelings exuded from the Care Bears. Really is what was so heartwarming as how children connected with them. But also the parents giving their smile of approval for this warm, nostalgic trend for children.
Yeah. So at the beginning of our discussion of the Care Bears this week, we mentioned how this cute concept initially originated as greeting cards from the company American Greetings. Jack Chornacki, the co-president of TCFC, introduced the first Care Bear to businessmen from American Greeting Cards and from the toy company Kenner in February 1981. So we just reiterated that just because now we're moving along on our little trek here.
Sure.
And that right there was the key word, toys.
Yeah.
And toys was everything good and great in the world of a Gen Xer kid.
Literally.
Yeah, I mean, like we just said a little bit ago, like just talking about the Care Bears, it just instantly takes you back. It just, I don't know, you feel like you're in 1985. It's crazy. But we were there for it.
Yep.
Fun, cute toys were abundant back when we were coming up, and they truly, from a youthful perspective, made the world go round.
And that's the crazy thing about these toys, because a lot of them have had revivals and things and added to them. But to be around when the concept first came along.
That's the spark.
Yeah, it's like we got to experience the new.
Yes.
And exciting.
Yes.
So very, very cool. And that happened with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A lot of movies. Yeah, a lot of things.
Yeah, and I think what you just said, I think that's the missing element that kids don't get to experience now.
Right.
There's stuff, there's cartoons, there's toys, but it doesn't have that it that you're talking about. You know what you're describing, it's not there.
Right. That's why we see the repeat of going back and getting what had the it factor in our day reviving, because it just worked. They had gold.
That's right. You tell them, Coop.
Yeah, they had gold. And we love it. So, as far as what you were saying, making the world go round, I have to completely agree with you. It most certainly did.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Care Bears characters were produced as a line of toys by Kenner and Parker Brothers. The following spring on a $5 to $6 million advertising budget and a wholesale commitment worth $122.5 million. That's US dollars.
My goodness, that's some change.
Yeah.
They can pass it this way.
Yeah.
They're
so
like, no.
Literally, you could see from the beginning, right, that they
Yeah.
were like, oh yeah, we're going to invest in this because we're going to make some money back.
That's right.
Very
thinking.
smart.
Yes, it was.
Like you said, you can share it.
And they're like,
So American Greetings introduced the characters to the general public in February of 1983 with an appearance at New York City's Toy Fair. So 26 licensees were involved upon launch. Yeah, among them was General Mills, a familiar food company, which too was owned by the board game producer Parker Brothers.
See, it's so interesting to learn of the actual business specs and success of the Care Bears concept, which was only fascinating, adorable cartoons and toys for us kids.
Yeah.
Like it was the whole thing.
Yes, just for kiddies to enjoy. Yay. So a little background on how the cuteness factor of how the Care Bears came to be. This conversation segues us to brilliant, inspiring artist Muriel Barian, who helped create none other than Strawberry Shortcake's look. Oh yeah. Was among franchise first concept artists. Ever heard of her?
Coop. That is another favorite childhood 80s memory.
Oh, yes.
I don't know. We just love Strawberry Shortcake.
Yes. She smelled so delightful.
Like, seriously, it was shameful. Like, we don't want to go along on that, but man, her hair. Like, seriously, we looked nuts.
Yes.
We kids be going around sniffing that poor doll's hair, but it was the bee's knees. That hair smelled good.
And it seemed like it never faded. How did they do it?
I don't know. It was the best smell.
Yes. We'll have to do Strawberry Shortcake.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Wow, yes.
You get that curious look. What are you sniffing? Oh, her hair.
Wow. I know, right? So, working with the TCFC creative VP, Ralph Schaefer, Mural Orion designed the first 6 bears, creating greeting cards themes for their belly graphics. And Susan Trentle, Mural sister and doll designer of Strawberry Shortcake, designed the Care Bears plush. Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. If this episode entertained you, please share it and spread the word. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your continued support. And now, back to the show.
Now that's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Once out of the concept stage, children's book illustrator Elena Kucharik became the primary artist for the Care Bears, creating hundreds of full-color illustrations for cards, books, and various licensed products. The TCFC's team of artists and writers created many characters in the Care Bears line, in a joint development by those characters from Cleveland and MAD, M-A-D, not Inspector Gadget's MAD. This is something a little bit more official. But that stood for the Marketing and Design Service of the toy group General Mills that you mentioned earlier. So American Greeting Cards kept the character program a secret until advertising was ready. That was a smart move too.
Oh, yeah.
At the start of the franchise, Care Bears was established as the project's working title. In their 1982 launch on September 24th, 1982, the Care Bears franchise was launched in New York City before members of the area's Society of Security Analysts. President Maury Weiss represented American Greetings. Jack Chornacki and Senior Vice President Henry Lowenthal from Cleveland represented those characters. Very, very interesting.
Indeed, Kennard. And in early 1983, Parker Brothers released 6 books featuring the Care Bears as part of its publishing division's first offerings. So on television, the original 10 Care Bears were featured in a syndicated special, Atkins Film Arts, the Care Bears in the Land Without Feelings, produced and sponsored by Kenner.
Phew!
Yeah.
The Care Bears enterprise was literally exploding.
It was.
And we're here for it too. Another syndicated special, The Care Bears Battle the Freeze Machine, came out that same year. A miniseries based on the toys was distributed by Lexington Broadcast Services Company. A year later, the Care Bears and the Care Bear Cousins appeared in the first animated feature film, The Care Bears Movie, that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And that was produced by the Canadian Nelvana Limited and released by the Samuel Goldwyn Company. It became the highest grossing animated film made outside the Disney market at the time of its release.
There's our beloved early movie memories.
Yeah, totally. This is great.
It is! Yay! Kennedy, check this out. Fun fact. Later that autumn, Deke Audiovisual released an 11-episode television cartoon series in syndication, which incorporated elements from the Atkins Film Arts special, which included the special's villains, Professor Coldheart, and his sidekick, Frostbite, appearing regularly, and some of the music from the specials being featured in the series. In the Nelvana film, with the Forest of Feelings, the home of the Care Bears cousins, being a regular setting in the series. So let's back up for a moment. Fun fact, you'd find this interesting to know that in December of 1983, American Greetings and CPG Products lost a lawsuit against Easter Unlimited, importers of a line known as message bears.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. According to New York City Judge Leonard B. Sand, those toys lack the heart-shaped touche tags used to identify the Care Bears.
Oh, see, that is very interesting.
Yeah, I thought so too. Anytime you have a good idea bouncing around, I don't care what it is, you always have that hint or worry that someone or some entity will attempt to muscle in on your grand idea.
I know.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes.
You speak facts on that, kid. Goodness, that's curiously around the same time when in 1984, AGC introduced a spin-off line, the Care Bear Cousins.
So cool. In 1986, Nelvana returned to the franchise with the second film, Care Bears Movie 2, A New Generation.
Oh.
Yes. Released by Columbia Pictures, the film featured a new villain, Darkheart, and introduced more of the Care Bears and the Care Bear Cousins.
Oh, good.
Yes, and they are Harmony Bear, True Heart Bear, and Noble Heart Horse.
Okay.
So later that year, the television series The Care Bears Family, also from Nelvana, premiered in mid-1986 here in the U.S., ABC Network, and Canada Global. So later 3 seasons and consisting of over 70 episodes. That's a lot.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's what we needed.
Yeah, it's like the children had spoken and they delivered. That is so cool. And this also introduced the evil bad guy, Wizard No Heart, and his sidekick, Beastly. And in the second season, No Heart's niece, Shrieky, was introduced.
Shrieky.
Shrieky, that's cute. And it also added more development to the Care Bears characters, with issues such as conflict and depression being addressed through the characters themselves in some episodes.
See, the creators of such cute, relatable entities did a brilliant job in making them relatable for children, who may have been struggling with various issues in early life.
Yeah.
They were even a refreshing, welcoming presence for children who weren't even struggling.
Right.
I just love this. Something like this is so crucially positive for youth who may have been struggling in various ways. Way to go, sweet Care Bears.
Totally way to go. So the Care Bears' third film, The Care Bears Adventure in Wonderland, premiered in 1987.
Yeah.
And it was a holiday-themed television special, Care Bears Nutcracker Suite, which also served as the series finale for the Care Bears family, premiered on the Disney Channel in 1988. So now that we have a much clearer perspective of what the Care Bears consisted of, check this out. Fun fact, did you know that between the years 1983 and 1987, over 40 million Care Bears were sold?
Are you serious?
That's a lot of little plush toys.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. That's toys.
Yeah. And that's not all, too. American Greetings printed over $70 million of the Care Bears themed cards during that decade.
This is simply amazing. And not a surprise by any stretch of the imagination. That was their start. The cards, the greeting cards.
Right?
So that's pretty neat.
And did I mention it was $40 million worth of toys?
Yes. I don't even know. We didn't get those.
No, we wanted them, though.
Yeah, this was... Okay, so as Gen Xer kids back in the 80s...
Yeah.
Our mom was like, oh my goodness, these toys, we're being bombarded and these kids keep begging for things we don't have money for. Yeah, I don't think we had Care Bears. We just watched the cartoons and stuff, and
we did.
That was fine though.
I will say, do you remember the book fairs that would come around to the schools?
I do.
We were able to get maybe one item.
Yeah.
Every now and then, maybe a coloring book or something, I was able to get the Care Bears book. It was maybe a 17, 18 page little book.
Okay.
It wasn't very big, but it was very colorful and it had the Care Bears in it. I couldn't even tell you what year that was.
Okay.
But it was definitely when we were in, younger years of school.
And it was special, wasn't it?
It was special.
Yeah.
Yes.
Made you appreciate it more.
Absolutely. Yes. But it didn't stop us from looking in the service merchandise catalog.
No, because they were in there.
They were in there.
And Mom's like slamming the book shut. Stop looking! Stop asking! Like, oh, geez, Mom.
Yes. But we can get some now if we wanted them.
Yeah. Yes.
So in a whole, the sales of their merchandise reached over 2 million all throughout the 80s, Kennard.
The merchandising rocked for us young Gen Xers at that time. But the toys, though.
Yeah.
Apart from the toys, books, greeting cards, and animated media, the Care Bears have been prominently featured in merchandising as well, appearing in forms such as gummy bears, cell phone covers, party goods and favors, interior decoration sets, stationery, school supplies, stickers, which is a huge 80s thing.
Oh, it was. Yes.
And then you have clothing, accessories, and much, much more.
Mm-hmm.
During the early aughts relaunch, the classic Care Bear toys were available at stores such as Claire's and Spencer's Gifts, as well as Carlton Cards.
So I have a quick, cute, fun fact to share.
Okay.
Fun fact. Did you know that you could tell the difference between little boy and little girl Care Bears was just by looking at their eyelashes?
Okay.
Little boys had 2 eyelashes. And little girl bears had 3.
Okay.
Isn't that just stinking adorable?
Oh, without a doubt. And, I can see it in my mind's eye right now.
Yeah. And when the franchise was introduced in the 80s, a mistake was made while manufacturing the stuffed animals, causing Bedtime Bear, who is blue, and Wish Bear, who is aqua-colored, to swap colors. Oh, the tragedy.
Oops.
Later, a children's story was written explaining why the bears had switched colors.
Oh, okay. That's a nice cover.
Yeah. So, I found this very interesting. A gentleman named Tom Engelhardt stated in his 1986 essay, and I quote, that the Care Bears dolls were categorized as highly specialized. So specialized are they that instead of being complex individual personalities, they are no more than carefully labeled fragments of a personality, he stated. Together, they must engage in a series of specialized interventions as complex as those of any real-life medical unit. End quote.
All right. And that is not only just adorable, but a very interesting take on the Care Bears' togetherness.
Yeah.
And how they took on tasks or jobs in order to willingly help others out and each other.
Yeah.
Wasn't there, in the later showcases or portrayals of the Care Bears, where they had a character named Baby Tugs Bear or Tugs?
Well, actually, yes. There was such a character, Baby Tugs Bear. It's a Care Bear cub.
Okay.
And the twin brother of Baby Hugs Bear. So you see, your memory was correct on that.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I knew. Things are super hazy right now. I don't know. I constantly feel like when thinking of things in the retro past, is that my real memory or am I making things up? Because I'm known to do that. Baby Tugs Bear made his first animated appearance in the 1984 television special, The Care Bears Battle the Freeze Machine, which we mentioned earlier, and has since popped up in nearly every future incantation of the Care Bear series.
Yeah, it's been quite the retro trek this week, talking some about the lovable Care Bears.
Yes, it has.
I love talking about our fun toys and things that we had desired. And,
yes.
Because you can really just emote those feelings like it was yesterday.
You sure can. That is no joke.
Yeah, and they were precious. So
yes.
Our hearts just melt with caramelicious goodness anytime we see their sweet faces or adorable antics play out in some of the best nostalgic offerings.
Word.
We were so fortunate to come up right in the thick of this time period as Gen Xers. And it's so cool to have had firsthand experience in enjoying these adorable characters. But two, it is nice that with the renewed interest in all things retro and great, that now the younger generations get to enjoy and appreciate the Care Bears right along with so many of our other retro memories as well.
That's right.
So before we wrap up our intriguing deep dive this week on the Care Bears, which of the Care Bears was your favorite, Kennedy?
Oh, I love this part of the episode. But I just have to put this out there that they're all just simply squeeze them, eat them up adorable.
Right, yes.
But I think I was always partial to Friend Bear, as well as Funshine Bear, who was yellow.
Aww.
They're too stinking cute. How about you, Coop?
Well, I always liked Share Bear and Wish Bear.
Oh.
And I think those are the ones I would bug the parents mercilessly for.
Oh, that's sweet. One really can't go wrong with this type of choice. Well, Cooper, we covered a lot of ground this week on the Care Bears, and there's so much more information and background, blueprints on these sweet plushy darlings. So you Orchard Archivers, truly, if you get a chance or have the penchant to look deeper into these lovable characters, by all means do so. It's a really good time. But for now, we have come to the end of our Orchard Trek Retro. Any parting words for our episode this week, Cooper?
Certainly, yes. I'd like to leave off with the Warm Care Bears motto.
Okay.
The Care Bears live in a mystical place called Carolot. It's made up of clouds and rainbows, from where they watch over the feelings of all children around the world. Whenever they hear a Care Bear alert, they know they are really needed. Their warm, loving motto is as follows: caring is what counts. I just love the Care Bears.
Me too.
Thank you, sweet, adorable ones. They were such a huge part of what made life back in the 80s great. And that's it for this week's episode. To make sure that you never miss out on another second of our Carmelicious podcast, meet up with us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Pandora, or wherever you get your podcast fix. Bye for now, and thanks so much for listening.